Shine Runners Racing Radio Show is dedicated to the fans, drivers, promoters, and most importantly, the families of local auto racing. Our mission and commitment is to help build, promote, and support the local tracks across the country.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to let the dirt fly here. Season 2, Episode 9. AJ, man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm a little under the weather.
You do? You get sick more than anybody. You need to eat some good old grandma's chicken and pastry or something.
Kids
yeah,
under
the youngins.
3 years old, so I'm living off halls right now.
Right. Anyway, man, tonight we have got an awesome show packed up for you. We have got Jim Wilmore and Pete Corey in the house from Bell & Bell Vintage Modifieds, and they have got some awesome stories to talk about. These cars, I'm talking about 1948 and under, so they're racing some real vintage machines out there. A lot of timeless treasure.
Almost as old as Bobby.
Almost as old as Bobby. As you know, we wish Bobby could be here tonight, but he had a little issue and wasn't able to. So he's going to be back May the 16th. Definitely don't want to miss that show. Keith Smith and Marty Webb. Man, going to be a great one. And tonight as well, we've got Richard Sills in the house with that Dirty South Roofing number 73 U car, and he's picked up a bunch of wins, actually 2 wins down at Lakeview, and doing real well in that U car division. And I think, Jinx, you're going to get to rib him a little bit. He owes you what?
Oh, we're going to get him.
He owes you like a fender
and a ball joint.
All kinds of stuff.
Maybe a rim and a wheel.
Anyway, want to throw this out there, man. Happy birthday, Renee Blackwell having a birthday, and also Mr. Sewell having a birthday today. So a big happy birthday to you guys. And, man, we've had a lot of stuff happen in the area, and definitely, before we get ready to go to our prayer and all tonight, Mom, we want to keep the Humphrey family in special prayers tonight, and James Lewis and his family. Definite prayers for them.
That's a big loss
today. Yes, Miss Brenda Core. They said Miss Brenda had a stroke
the other week.
Yep. So
and Mr. Core as well has been under the weather.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on for them, and Charles Gibson, which used to be Keith Smith. Do you remember that? The 3 guys that were deaf that used to be with Keith Smith on his stuff. Charles passed away April 29th, actually Sunday. Passed away in his sleep. Yes, the little small one. As well, Wyatt Fisher. We prayed for Wyatt and his family last time, and since then, he's going to be with the Lord. So definitely keep in your prayers the Fisher family. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to turn it over to our chaplain here, Miss Betty Kitchen, well known as Mom, and she's going to do our prayer, and then we're going to get into our national anthem.
Lord, we just thank you for this beautiful, beautiful weather that we have here. Father, we thank you for each person that has showed up tonight and those that are listening in. Father, we just ask your hand to be around each one of them. Lord, we ask that you lift up the families, lift up the people that their names have been spoken, the Humphrey family, the Core family, the other families. Lord, we just ask you to continue to gird them up in your life and in your love. Just hold on to them and be with them during their times of need, their times of sorrow. Father, we just ask your healing hand for Brenda and for Mr. Core and the rest of the family, MAO and them. Father, only you can heal, and we trust and believe in you for that healing. Father, we just ask you to continue to bless each and every one of us. Be with us, guide us, lead us only in your direction, and bring us the peace that only you can give. Father, these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand as we do our national anthem. Start your engine. That's right, getting the engine started here tonight. Man, and AJ, something cool. We've actually got Alex and Camille come all the way from Japan just to be here to watch the show tonight.
That's a long way.
Ain't that
Y'all
ain't
got
that
some jet lag?
That's a hell of a commitment.
flew in just to watch us, man. That's some great stuff. Of course, I don't think that's the deal, but we're gonna walk it out that way.
That's exactly
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
We can use it to where we can.
Makes you feel better.
Yes. So tonight, like we were talking, man, after we come back from our commercials, we're going to be talking to Mr. Wilmore and Mr. Pete Corey. I had a chance the other day to talk to Pete at the Good Old Days of Dirt, and he was showing me some pictures of that old number 35 his father used to race, and I'm sure we're going to get some information out from them on that one, too. It's a very interesting story. And a lot of cool things, man, that happened this past weekend, and we'll get into that more tonight. As we're going to be talking NASCAR, we're going to be talking drag racing, go-kart racing, mud track racing, you name it, sprint cars. We're going to be talking a little bit of it all, and it's going to be coming up right here after these commercials. Before we do go into commercials tonight, definitely want to throw out our mail time, one of my favorite times. Mail time tonight is coming from, how they
Love
like
that mail time. He gets it going.
You like that? Military Luggage Company at militaryluggage.com. So we're going to be opening mealtime tonight from them. Temple Mechanical, Raging Rooster Catering, A1 Portable Toilets, and A1 Landscaping and Lot Clearing, Bellinger Signs and Graphics, Redline Speed Shop, Fast Tracks Mud Box, and C&M Pressure Washing. A huge thanks to those guys as they have sponsored us and made it possible for us to be here. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, from these commercials, we're going to be getting Mr. Jim Wilmore and Pete Corey in the house from the Bell & Bell Vintage Modifieds.
This is Matt Tuberville, number 27 with Cable Racing Engines, TCI Motorsports. You're watching Shine on Radio.
It's your job to put it in the winner circle, but it's ours to make your ride stand out above the rest. With full-colored wraps or die-cut designs, Bellinger Signs and Graphics is sure to put you in the eyes of the fans. That's not all. We do custom yard signs, storefront, and your everyday decal. Come see us today at Bellinger Signs and Graphics, 3392 Dunn Road, Eastover, North Carolina. Look at those parts to put you in the winner circle? Let Redline Speed Shop be your one stop for all performance needs. From straight strip to left turns, they have it all. Tires, fuel, and safety equipment, and that's just the beginning. Come by today, 404 Hope Mills Road, and get your win on with Redline Speed Shop. You're first. Whew, all right, back in the action here at the Steel tonight, and we have got two awesome guests with us here tonight, Mr. Jim Wilmore and Pete Corey. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Doing great.
Great, man. Glad to have y'all here. And you guys are with the Bell & Bell Vintage Modified Series. Now, tell us a little bit about what that's got in.
Well, the Bell & Bell started in 2008, where I picked up an old 37 Chevy off of eBay and took it over to Fayetteville and ran a few laps. And a friend of mine, Bobby Williamson from Charlotte, see me run a few laps, and he said, that's pretty cool. He said, I got an old 36 Pontiac I just built. And I said, well, we got two cars, man. Let's go race. So we took them over to Hammerdown in Red Springs, and they let us on the track. We ran about 5 laps in a little exhibition race. And the rest is history. I mean, from there, it just took off. I mean, we had 2 cars in June, and by August, we had 6. By November, we had 10 cars. And we knew from that point, we knew that this is going
It's
somewhere.
going to grow.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you guys start at 1948 and down.
Yeah, 1948 and earlier. So the
Yeah.
earliest car we got
Earlier,
right
that's
now is
the
a
word.
34. It's an old, they call it a stagecoach. It was just square body, you know.
I like the differences. You have so many different years. It just makes it wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
And they're not like, I mean, they're not running like 1938 cars. I mean, y'all got some big motors
Yeah.
and things. There's
Oh,
some
yeah.
major horsepower in those. I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
Pete Corey go around there. I mean, he
Pulling
goes
front
by.
tires off the
You
ground.
think a late model's going by.
Hence modified.
Yeah. That night, man. Remember that night we were there at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and you were saying vintage is my new favorite because it was the 3NY and Carl Smith.
And there was like
back
10
and
to
forth,
15.
back and forth, and
Oh,
back
yeah,
and forth.
Duke
Man,
it.
it was an awesome show.
It was like 10 to 15 lead changes. It was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a really
That
good
makes
show.
it good racing.
So you guys with the Bell & Bell Vintage Modified Series have different drivers, competing in different classes. It's not, you are all Bell & Bell Vintage Modified, but you have different classes within it, right?
Yeah, correct. We have at least 5 different classes, and the reason we do that is to match up the driver and the car with and also the skill of the driver with each class, and plus the motors. And we have a 6-cylinder class, so it works out. We have enough cars to run 5 classes. That's how big and we also have a couple cars will run in 2 different classes just because it'll be 2 different drivers.
Yeah.
With different skill levels or different age groups and whatnot.
Cool. Now here we were looking at that number. This is your car carrier and all, Mr. Corey, right here. And actually, James, you drive for Mr. Corey, correct?
Yeah, Pete asked me to drive the 03 in September, and I told him, man, I said, after driving my jalopy, I said, I can't lose a race in this. And so far I ain't. So I've been 5 in a row. And I tell you what, Pete Corey's machines are just incredible, man. You can take it from here, Pete.
Mr. Pete's bringing down that Yankee power down here in the
that's what it
South.
is.
So that's what the NY stands for, ladies and gentlemen. New York on those machines. Tell us a little bit about racing upstate.
Well, racing upstate is real tough. I mean, people got money, and it's tough racing. And I quit in 1985. Was my last year. And it was going to cost me $40,000 at that time to put a car back on a racetrack.
Good gracious.
And I didn't have 40 cents.
Well, that's too much to be competing.
40,000.
40,000 in 86.
Now, where we were talking this weekend, your dad's first car, how much was that thing?
$35.
35 bucks.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's talking some back in the day, Bo. Back in the day. And it was number 35.
Yep, he named it numbered it 35 because he paid $35 for it.
Yeah.
That's back when you could go to
Tell us,
junkyard, get parts.
Tell us the legendary story behind the roller skates on the roof.
Well, he was on his roof more than he was on his wheels. So they took and welded a set of roller skates upside down on the roof for a joke. And he had the roller skates on the roof.
It probably
Man.
helped him roll it back off the track a little easier.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good stuff, man. And nowadays things have changed a lot, obviously, you know. But what does it take going in? I'm sure it's hard to find a lot of these older vintage cars. Do you just take a body and put it on like an open wheel chassis, or how does that work?
Basically, yes. Okay. The problem is that if you get a real old chassis, you're dealing with a lot of rust, and they're not safe. Okay. So the guys now are using, I wouldn't say modern, but
Like
you know,
G-body.
yeah, you know, they're
G-body
finding
frames.
cars that are just laying around and whatever, and that's what they're using, and we put the old bodies on.
Right.
Like the car that Jim drives, that's a early 80.
Oh, cool.
Okay, you know, that's nothing new. That's a early 80, and my car is a late 80. So,
Now, Mr. Corey's been in racing from his father and all the way up to now. What got you into racing?
A fella named Peter DiPaolo, which some viewers may know, but Peter DiPaolo is a 1925 Indy 500 winner, and he was friends with my parents from World War II, and he stopped by the house on the way to Michigan International Speedway to do some, giving them some advice. And I was 7 years old, and I sat down with Peter DiPaolo, and from Michigan, Indianapolis was bigger than stock car racing at the time. And so here I am, 7 years old, breaking bread with a Indy 500 winner from 25 now.
Man.
And it sparked an interest in me that carried on basically through my whole life.
It's impossible to let go of.
And both of you guys, when I take my hat off and tip it to you guys, I understand that you were both brought here in the Army.
I was in the 82nd for 20.
The military brought you guys.
Thank you for
to
your
Fayetteville.
service.
On and off.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And Pete was a crew chief on a
helicopter.
Huey, UH-1H Huey.
Thank you all so much for your service.
You know, if he had gone to Vietnam, we would probably had the flag there now. But that's another story.
So you guys come into, and you're racing now. You know, you talked about tracks up in New York. It's kind of like racing in a canal, and then you come down here to
So smooth.
North Carolina, and you're finding a lot of these smooth tracks. I couldn't imagine. It's got to be a different setup if you're racing on a rough track like up there.
It's because you never know what the track is going to be like. You know, some weeks they're smooth, and the next week, I mean, they got
You're jumping
unbelievable holes. I mean, I have seen cars flip going in, hitting the hole, and it throws them right off
Really? Wow.
from hitting the holes. Yeah.
What were some of your favorite tracks from up north that you used to love to run?
To tell you the truth, the most fun that I ever had racing was in Canada.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I raced in Canada.
Was the season pretty short there? I mean, I know it's a lot
Yeah, it's
colder
gotta be
up there. It's
cold.
got to be. What do you start around June or July?
No,
when it
no,
thaws
they're
out?
racing now.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're racing now,
They've been held up a little bit. There's been a couple storms that went by.
and they race right up until school starts.
Mm-hmm.
Once the school starts, then they shut down.
Right.
But
It's too
yeah.
much weather.
I think they've actually got some ice racing up there or something too, don't they?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
do.
crazy.
yeah.
They got
can imagine.
motorcycles. They do all snowmobiles, all kinds of stuff up there.
That's too cold for me. I'd rather go inside where it's warm.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch some ice racing, though, like some serious dirt track ice racing.
They got
A little
these
bit more
things that are like
slippery,
little
that'd be better.
go-karts or something that they
got-
drive. and
I've
just-
seen them put sprints.
Yeah.
On,
Yeah.
on the ice.
Yeah.
What are they? What did they just call them sprints on ice or?
I
what?
don't know what they call
I
them.
saw it's like a little cage and they're sitting in it like a car, but it looks like a champ cart almost. It's weird. I saw it.
I mean, they ran the F1 car up a mountainside
Oh, yeah,
in
I
the
saw
snow.
that
You
Yeah.
see that video? That's
That just
intense.
goes to prove if you love racing, you're gonna find a
You
way
can
to
find a
race.
way to race.
It only takes two cars, like you were saying. It takes two to race. A lot of times it just take one. You just have to outrun yourself.
Yeah,
I find myself doing that a lot of times. You know what I mean? I'm very competitive.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Some of your biggest accomplishments that have been, through the years of racing, definitely, obviously no wins, but like one of your biggest memorable moments. You like that? I call it memorable moments.
Probably to me,
Forgot to cut.
You're
turn
very
that off.
patriotic today.
I know.
Very
I know.
patriotic today.
probably to me, the win that my father had at Lebanon Valley, he won the 200. It was 200 laps,
Good gracious.
and
I'm like 3 laps in looking for a caution.
he lapped the field, and was getting ready to lap the second place guy the second time.
Good Lord.
When we turned around, and he cut the back of the car off, and the car looked just like the one I'm driving. He cut the back of the car off, and we made a gas tank to fit the complete back of the car. It had to hold 60, 70 gallons.
Wow.
And it was on gas and fuel injected. Big
Wow.
block. And everybody went to the carburetor, and we stayed with the injection with this big tank. But you figure 7 pounds a gallon, you start losing that, the car's going to not
Change.
handle.
Right.
Yeah.
What we did is we put a ratchet on our right front adjuster with a handle coming inside the car, so we could actually adjust the suspension as the fuel was going
That's
down.
smarts, man.
Sprint cars got stuff like that. Them little bitty sprint cars, you reach down and start tweaking with things, get their cars to
That
turn.
is so smart.
Yeah.
That was thinking.
That's called innovation. We was talking about that and how them people were just making performance parts back then.
You were the first innovators, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because how much would that be? What's it? 5 pound or what is it,
7
5
pounds a gallon.
Yeah, 7 times 60. Gosh, that's what.
That's a lot
13
of fuel.
Is that 1,300 pounds?
Don't get me to line.
Yeah,
You know
I'll
I
have to get
can't do
somebody-
math.
Pull up a calculator.
Oh,
And
man.
I went to pay off, and I collected the money, $2,750 we won that night.
Nice.
And you stop and think about it. The cars were $3,000 because we built our own cars.
From nothing.
And you wanted parts, you went and got them. Okay, everything was done in the shop. So, we had $3,000 in a brand new car.
Wow, that would like buy what? Set of head gaskets or something nowadays.
And maybe some wheels and tires.
Everybody. Good Lord. That's good stuff. How about you, buddy?
My most memorable moments is probably started when my son Alex was racing go-karts over at the old Riverside Speedway. And
I remember it.
And when we got into racing, and the enjoyment of watching my son out there, and me as the crew chief, and did everything, pits and there, But that was some of the best times I've had was watching him run. And I want to give a big shout out again to Alex and his wife Camille from the Air Force, and they.
Thank you,
over here
guys.
protecting our freedom.
Thank you.
And when he was racing, that was some of the highlights of my racing. My racing. As far as me racing, man, I tell you, every race is just is a blessing. I mean, every time I can get out there on the track and have some fun, and that's what we do. That's what the Vintage Modifieds is all about. Is we're out there having fun. We ain't getting paid a lot. I mean,
you guys are putting on a show.
Yeah,
I mean,
real
a
good
wonderful show. Every time I've seen you.
I mean, he even said
love it, man.
He's like, God, this is my new favorite.
Oh, I'm
right
telling
here."
you, like the first time I seen y'all out there, I put y'all on live on Facebook. Had all of a sudden about 1,000 views the first day. I mean, people absolutely love what you got going on. I mean,
and that was the whole objective there is to have fun doing it. I mean, everybody's having fun racing, but when you're out there trying to make a living doing it, you're out there trying to make a living.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the fun can be diminished by the competitiveness, but we're out there having fun, and sometimes it doesn't matter whether you come in first or last.
You still get paid.
As long as you get paid your $50.
Yeah.
Tow money.
And you guys seem to always kind of part right there together,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I mean,
That's
if
a
you got
very
something that breaks
tight-knit
on
group.
one car, I'm sure it's I got one in the truck or the trailer, or you do anything you can. I mean, that's a really close group. The Bill
Well,
and Bill.
you hit on a good point too, is because a lot of us we're from between Sanford and Shallotte and Conway and Fayetteville, Eastover. So we got a good diverse group of guys out there, and I'm really enjoying the drivers we got right now. We got a really fun group of guys.
And all the way up, 74, 75, 76 years old,
Yeah.
some of these drivers that are driving.
Yeah. Down to some of the guys in their 20s.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
I seen we had a chance to talk to Mr. Carl Smith this weekend, and he was so excited. He's like, I knew had a chance to get back into a car and get back into racing, and Bell and Bell Vintage Modified made that happen for him. The ability to crawl back in a car and get back out there and swap paint and race with you guys. I'm telling you, that was a great race that
I
night.
tell you, Carl can't walk well, but he can damn drive wheels off a car.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He
He's a good man, and he
has a long, rich history of racing. And as we heard this weekend at the Good Old Days of Dirt with the Arthur Phipps and Cecil Devon, he raced for those guys, and we've heard it numerous times this weekend. They were talking about, if Carl come to the track, you had better get your A game on, because he was down for their business. He wasn't there to play around. He was there to race. So, and that's awesome that he's racing with you guys now. And
There's one thing about Carl. He doesn't like yellow.
yeah, and he don't. Carl don't lay on green sheets neither.
No, you don't have no green sheets.
He
We
don't
found
lay
that
on
out.
green sheets. Found that out too. But as far as if somebody wanted to get into Bell and Bell, what would they do? How would they get in contact with you guys?
Well, the website on Facebook, and then they could just get right from there. You get a hold of Bobby. There's a set of rules that we go by, and just come to the track.
Yeah.
See what we got, and
hang out with us in the pits one night and just get to know what it's about, how easy it is. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. People say, man, it must cost a ton of money. No, it doesn't. You need a body, and you need a chassis and a motor. And
Put together, go racing.
Oh, you can run on used tires if you want. I mean, you don't have to put the finest in, because we're not racing for money. We got a point system, and we each get a trophy and $50 at the end of the night. But it doesn't cost a lot.
And then a
to have
nice
fun.
awards ceremony at the end of the year,
End of
where
the
you
year,
guys
yeah.
come
Yeah.
together as a big racing family. And I saw that, man, and that was awesome. All you guys were there, and families, and just having
That's
a great
the type
night
of
of
stuff
food
that
and
built
stuff.
our sport, and that's what people, and especially my generation, we all need to try to get back to that and start bringing that type of camaraderie back to the sport and family heritages. I mean, that's what needs to happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're looking to get in touch with them, you guys have a Facebook group. It's Public Bell and Bell Vintage Modified Series,
Yeah.
right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's got like 790 members. Just go on there and ask to join the group.
Yeah.
And somebody, one of us, or Jim or Pete or somebody can accept
And Miss
you.
Patsy, which is
Yeah.
she heads up the Facebook thing. I believe she's actually Chubby Tompkins'
Yes.
daughter. And Chubby was a guy too who you knew when he pulled up to the racetrack that he was there to win that night. You know, and that's a lot at the old Fayetteville Motor Speedway, wasn't it, Dad? Yeah. So, well, man, it's great having you guys here in studio tonight. And if there's anything else, do y'all have any sponsors that you'd like to definitely thank?
I have IWC, Seal Coat and Striping
Okay.
out of Raleigh. That's the only sponsor that I do have. Besides my engine builder, it's Clifton Park Engine Builders.
Okay.
And he does take care of me with the motors. And Dave Davies, the letterer, he lettered my dad's car
Oh, man.
back from
That's awesome.
1960.
Yeah, and I saw some
Okay.
pictures of him painting it on. That's how they used to do it. That's old school, painting the numbers
Yeah.
on. And I wish the cars would go back to that,
And,
man.
and
That is
he
so
actually was in Florida for Bike Week, and he actually stopped at my house on his way home and did my car.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Well, we definitely want to give a big thank you to W.C. Bell from Bell & Bell GMC out of Conway. Mr. W.C. has just been a tremendous support for our series. I mean, it's a series name, sponsor name. The Renegade Racing Fuels and Oils, and the Trophy Shop, and there's a number of others that I just don't have off the top of my head, but there's a number of sponsors that really help us out, contribute something, and whether it goes to a trophy or the tow money. And again, everybody gets $50 at the end of the night, so
That's good.
so we're not.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah.
can't beat that.
No,
Yeah.
it's-
And a
you
big
guys
thanks
are
to
out there
the
because of the love of the sport, and that's what matters.
Love
Now,
the sport, yeah.
where are you guys coming up next? What's your next show you're going to be at?
Saturday.
This coming Saturday?
We'll be at-
Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
That's right.
Oh, we'll
cool.
see you out there then. All right, for sure. That's always. a
They
good
have
time.
actually got like a Yesterday's Heroes event going on this
They
weekend.
try to plan our race around the Yesterday's Heroes every year, so those guys can come out there and
brings back
and-
some people to the racetrack.
And it was a
People that
couple.
used to
It was
go
a
all the
couple
time.
years ago. Dad actually got to go out there with his '53 Bel Air and was the pace car for the
Cool.
Bell & Bell Vintage Modifieds out at the thing. And he's an old Yester hero over there at old Genuine Junkyard Dog himself. But
Hey, before they get out of here, I want to ask real quick. This was a picture I found and I forgot to load it. But tell us about this, Mr. Corey. This I found this on your Facebook page.
That picture's at Lebanon Valley.
Really? Now, is that you driving?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's I built that car from the ground up.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't afford to buy a chassis like all these people did. But a friend of mine bought one and went over and made blueprints of his car and went back to the shop and rebuilt it.
And that's the thing is like a lot of these guys nowadays that drive cars don't really. Most of them,
They show
young
up on
guys,
Saturday
they
morning.
couldn't even work on them.
Show up on
But you
Saturday
guys
morning,
used
get in
to
the car.
actually,
You got to build it.
build them. From nothing.
Performance parts
from
out of
the
nothing.
junkyards or wherever what might be. I mean. So that just goes to show you how much the sport is changing. It'd be nice to kind of get back to that.
You know,
That's true
and-
dedication.
And the Bell and Bell series,
Exactly.
we all do our own.
Really?
You know,
And help one another, and
Yeah.
exactly.
right.
That's
If
wonderful.
somebody needs something or whatever, you got it, we give it, Or if somebody wrecks or whatever, you need some parts, I got them. We swap back and forth.
Sounds like an
there's-
awesome racing
There's no
community.
enemies.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's friendly.
and you're going to get $50 regardless. So why put somebody out on purpose?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
we just don't do that.
Yeah.
If you can go buy me clean, then go. But I'm not going to wreck anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not for what.
Yeah.
It costs everybody money.
These cars are so expensive
Yep.
because you can't find the parts.
Right.
Okay, like I got wrecked the last race that we had. I just got a phone call today from the man in Pennsylvania who's building my front end. He had to build it because they're obsolete. There's no more. So in order to put that front end back in, he built the front end for me.
Wow.
And it's on its way down.
Oh, cool.
Good. Well, we hope you get it here and get ready for this weekend. We'd love to see you out there.
Well, I'm going to try.
And definitely looking forward to seeing that 3NY back in the winter circle this weekend down
It's
at
a blast.
Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Good luck to both of you guys. And again, thank you so much for coming out. And thank you for doing what you guys are doing with Bell & Bell Vintage Modified and everything in the racing to keep the history alive, truly where it comes
Helping
from.
paving the way for us.
And thank you for your service, too.
And
Yes, by all means.
Thank you for having us on.
Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, Rooster, Hollywood, and all the guys, man. Appreciate it.
Cool, man. Well, we're going to take it out to a commercial, my friend, and when we come back, we're going to have Richard Seals in the house, Little Pine Tree himself. And he called me, he said, Rooster, this is number 37 Pine Tree, and number 73, Little Pine Tree's on the way. I don't think he's a little pine tree anymore, though. We're going to take it out to commercial, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much, Bell & Bell Vintage Modified in-house tonight. Mr. Jim Wilmore and Pete Corey, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Matt Long, and I'm watching Shine Runners Racing Radio. Say that 5 times fast.
All right, driver blue number 14J, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio.
A1, your only stop for landscaping and lot clearing in the Fayetteville and surrounding areas. Specializing in commercial and residential, A1's skilled technicians are ready to meet your needs. Experienced in erosion control, landscaping, irrigation, sod, grading, demolition, and lot clearing. A1 is willing and capable of all jobs, big or small. Call A1 today at 910-858-0003 or email a1lotclearing@aol.com. A1 Landscaping and Lot Clearing. We take the work out of yard work.
Looking to ease the pain of cooking for your guests? Tired of hosting the party but staying on the grill all night? Let us help you. Raging Rooster, a fully functional rolling kitchen loaded with the official chicken wings of Shine Runners Racing Radio. Owned and operated by Tony and Bobby Jackson. Contact them at 910-237-4565 or jackson.bobby@yahoo.com. Raging Rooster Wings. Come get you some. Back at the steel and back in action, man. That's pretty cool to be talking about vintage modified and building the car from ground up to get out there to the racetrack.
The way it
That's
used to be
awesome
done,
stuff.
the way it should be done.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going all the way from vintage modifieds to today. The car today, not the car tomorrow. The car right
U-car
now.
of today.
The
U-car.
one you go and get your groceries in and everything.
Yeah, just all you got to do is bust the windows out, put a number on it, come to the racetrack
That's
with.
it.
And we're talking right now with Mr. Richard Seals, the Dirty South Roofing number 73 machine. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good. Good to have you in the studio tonight. And congratulations coming off some wins down in Lakeview. I'm
2 in a
seeing.
row.
Yeah. I appreciate the invite and y'all allowing me on the show. And just come off my second win last Saturday night at Lakeview.
Birthday weekend.
Yeah, birthday weekend. It was a good birthday present.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Pulling
birthday
into Victory
present.
Lane.
Definitely. Happy birthday
I
to
couldn't
you.
look
Happy
your face in
birthday,
the wrong
man.
direction.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, man, we were doing some back information, and you were champion in 2010 in the U-Car division. You took a little break off and then come back to racing. And is it any different than it was a couple years ago, or is it everything still like it was?
It is. It's changed. It's progressed. Obviously, more in other out of states and other tracks than locally, but the competition and the competitiveness and the cars themselves obviously has improved and gotten faster and faster. So
Starting to see a lot of cars starting to come into the field.
yeah, I'm hoping for that to come back. I know originally back when it first started, the first years that it started, it took a year or two to kind of come off the ground, but there was any given night we had 12, 15, 18 cars, and then it just kind of, some guys didn't want to come back or whatever may be the reason. It kind of died off, and here lately it seems to kind of fluctuate. Some nights it'd be good nights, some it won't.
There's a bunch of tracks, so we're kind of...
Well, that's another thing is there's so many other tracks locally, front-wheel drive U-cars, they're at almost every other dirt track. There's very few that does not run us. And most of the rules for the
Very similar.
Yeah, very similar in rules. There's a few things that tweak and kind of help or hurt car count. But obviously, yeah, here lately it has been growing, and I hope that it continues to progress and keep growing and growing and go back to the way it used to be when we had full field of cars. You know,
We did pretty good the first night out at Fayetteville. We had like
That
12
was
or
a good
13.
show. It was a real good show.
It was, and I've been talking to a few, and obviously there's still some being
Made.
built,
Yeah,
and
we've
worked
got
on, and
we've got a U car back here. Ain't quite made it to the debut yet, but we got to talk her into
Yeah,
it. Miss
and,
Linda, Linda, you got to come out Lakeview 19th.
you hear that? Yeah, there's a lot more being built, a lot more, you know,
Competitiveness.
yeah, trying to plan on coming in. Obviously, you know, the big event that is going to really bring a lot that y'all probably ain't used to locally around here is on June 9th when the SCDRA guys come. We're going
Be some
I'd imagine
fast
we're going to
cars.
have a packed full house. of
Packed
front-wheel
house.
drives.
Now, so is that like a series?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a that's a traveling series, and they run regularly. And
Yeah,
it's,
they'll run most of the races around more south of us and around Georgia
Yeah, they
area
do.
and stuff like that. But luckily, we was able to pull them up north a little bit and bring them.
Yeah, it's their first showing.
year for Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So luckily, Kelly and Jim they talked to each other the last show up in Indianapolis, and
Yeah.
luckily they kept communication and was able to work out a deal, which I greatly appreciate that. Obviously, I'm gonna try to make the field at least. Obviously, I'm not gonna be competitive against these guys. You know, they're
We
they're
got one
built
up.
cars with a lot more experience and a lot less weight.
yeah.
It's basically like throwing a pure stock against a super street. So,
But you know what we have that they don't? We know the track.
Well, they
They gotta figure it out.
They got a lot of drivability and a lot of skills. So obviously they're not gonna come in blind. You know, they might tinker a little bit here and there, but they know their stuff. They've been in front wheel
Oh, yeah.
drives for a very long
Them
time.
them
and
guys
they're
are
very
going hard.
competitive.
They'll be
Now,
bringing stackers.
You're
with
trying to
front-wheel drive.
get the front wheel drives a whole lot different than the rear wheel. You know what I'm saying? Is there a different in weight distribution you have to do on these
Oh
cars?
yeah,
or-
obviously.
Completely.
You know, rear wheel drive, you know, most of your weight's being balanced and more going toward the rear, where front wheel drive, you're obviously going to try to put more toward the front. You actually want your tail end to be somewhat light as
He
possible.
does.
He don't like going sideways. I do.
Front
Yeah.
wheel drive sideways don't mix.
So you got, you know, running. How many years total have you had in a race car? And your father was a race car driver as well. I've known Pine Tree was doing racing. He raced the number 37 in pure stock, and he had an open wheel at one time. And
Yeah, he
90s, right?
yeah, he started in '97. You know, we lived down the road. We lived a couple miles down the road down Butler Nursery, and we could hear the cars. I don't really remember exactly at the time of what brought him into racing as far as what brought him to the track, but obviously the rookie class come along, and it was something he could afford and jumped in what was it, 97, right? 97. Yeah, 97. Had a, you know, big old, you know, boat is what I called it. It is a big old car, but obviously we stripped it, put a crate in there. He drove down the road to J.D. Gunther, had him slapping my cage in there. Took him a few weeks and got it out there, and he was hooked.
No, I
You know,
bet.
obviously.
Yeah, once you do it, you ain't gonna go back.
Well, that was the same scenario for me. I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up, but I went to the track obviously when I was about 8 or 9, and a year or two later, you know, Larry Lee had, you know, he would allow during practice would allow us to get in the car, and Dad threw me in the passenger seat. I'm sitting there holding on to the bars and, you know, holding on for dear life because, you know, bouncing all around, nothing to sit on. So I'm just, you know, no windows, just sand blowing all in my eyes and stuff, and it hooked me. I mean, it's just something about it that just hooked me then. Obviously, it took me a long time before I was able to afford to get out there, but I joined back in 09 toward the end of it. Jimmy McDuffie actually allowed me to drive one of his cars for me.
Oh, cool.
He let me drive it for 2 or 3 races, and then I went on Craigslist, found me a car of my own up in Raleigh, which Greg Bass helped me go haul up and haul back down, stripped it, put it together. JD actually built my cage for that as well. So basically, JD got us both started, my dad and myself. So went out there, had a little fun, few races. Obviously, the car that I had wasn't compatible against the guy that was up front, and I had my seat time that I felt I wanted. And come next year, I ended up getting Mike Parker's car.
The black one?
Yeah, the black one with the wing and the, you know, and all that. Everything was left on. All I did was just change the number. But come back in 2010 after just running about 4 or 5 races, and actually won the first 2 races right off the bat. And then third race going in, they had a traveling series. There was one guy come down and was practicing for the upcoming race, and got back in 2010. You know, when they graded the track, they try to keep you off the bottom by leaving a ditch at the bottom. Well, I caught that ditch, and when I caught that ditch, it sucked me in. There weren't no coming out of it, and it just sucked me right into the guardrail and flipped me right over end. And after that, I had to replace all my suspension. Obviously, it hurt my motor. I didn't find out until later that something messed up in my motor, and just periodically through the year, it just kept breaking, and before, you know, toward the end of the year, it was not runnable. Luckily, I was able to find someone willing to let me drive the car for the last 2 races, but after all the headache, I actually pulled off the championship in 2010, and at the end of the year, I couldn't afford to replace the motor. So, you know, I was young. You know, it just wasn't in my budget at the time, and took a break. And more or less, I actually wanted to come back. I've been wanting to come back, but I made it a set goal that when I came back, it was not going to be a V6. It was going to be a 4-cylinder. It was going to be a standard. And just happened to find the deal that I needed, and I had the support from my family that I needed as well to be able to do it. And
you definitely got her humming.
Yeah, that thing.
She's humming.
She moving on the outside, buddy, moving.
Yeah.
Well, I've shown that, you know, obviously not all classes can make the high side work. You know, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But I can definitely make a front wheel drive use the high side.
He done good.
They were talking about earlier. I mean, you know, earlier on in the year, I remember Wayne Gray, whenever he was at Victory Lane, he said, "I knew there was a high side to this racetrack,
I figured I'd
get it." and that's cool to see, man. Now, as far as car price, we hear a lot about racing is just so outrageously expensive. What are you averaging, you know, to race?
It truly depends on for our class. It all depends on the deal that you can find. Obviously, if you're going out buying a street car, you know, from a private seller, you're going to look upwards of spending money. But if you're able to find a deal that maybe like
somebody's already built or something,
you know, something that maybe was wrecked or maybe the motor's blown up, it rages. I mean, honestly, you can sometimes find a car already race ready, anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500. Or, you know, it goes up, or, you know, obviously
there's still a few cars out there right now if anybody wants to get racing in it. Brandon Jacobs is let's see, last year.
Brandon Jacobs' car ain't no joke.
No,
he won like 74,311,000 races last year.
Yeah, that's up for sale.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping he brings it back out before he sells it, because that was the main competition that I wanted to race against. Obviously, when I built my car,
I think you should call him out. I literally think you should do a video.
Yeah, I think everybody's called him out already.
Obviously, when I built my car, you know, it being a 4-cylinder, I had to obviously hope I could find the one that could keep up with the V6s, and Brandon was the main objective at the time. Obviously, you know, he was the dominating factor at the time. So I finally got it, finally built it, and lo and behold.
So and that just goes to show too, man, with the dedication and putting in the work. You're running a 4-cylinder in a class that they are allowing V6s and putting it up on the podium. So you know what I'm saying? You get in there and made it work, and that says a lot about yourself.
Oh yeah, it's
or your wrench turner over here, because I understand that your brother's the wrench turner. So is he the one? He the one you're paying the homage to over here?
He's the one that I take it for the big job, the big work. Obviously, his work. He got lifts. He got transmission jacks. Obviously, you know, first race out the bat with it.
Had clutch.
My man over here outrun me.
The
clutch burned up, and had to take it to my brother for the over the week. Had to change the clutch in the flywheel, and it was toast. It weren't getting over it. Come back to second race and actually won the race. So.
Yeah, second race.
Yeah,
right here.
That's wild.
Second race out.
So where are you coming up next?
Fayetteville. I'll be at Fayetteville. Obviously, I want to get some more seat time. Trying to get more setup.
I'm
changing setup all the time. Obviously, if you look at my times, if anyone ever looks at my times, it's always changing, especially during qualifying. It's always going from a slower time going to a fast time because like I was telling Kyle, he's consistent. I'm gonna try something different. I'm still learning my car. I'm obviously gonna try something different, try to see what it's gonna work and what it's like, so I can prepare myself for June 9th.
Right.
When you find that spot and then you'll know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
If you don't try nothing, you just stay the same.
That's right.
Yep. Exactly.
you don't go
once
nowhere.
I find that good sweet spot, that's when I hope I can more or less keep consistent on it. But obviously, I'm trying to get it prepared for the big race, but I'm also trying to figure out a way of outrunning old Red Riding Hood, Glenn Register.
Because he be out there on that high side, late model driving.
Car he got.
That's fast car.
He's
Him and
gonna
Jesse
be the
Hunter
one-
too.
Yeah, and once Jesse's
Gets
fast
that
down,
car.
once he gets it set up, he's going to be a very strong
They're
competitor for
very
me
tough
have
to beat, especially at Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Awesome,
man.
You got any sponsors that you'd like to thank?
I got Dirty South Roofing. I like to thank them. They jumped on board this year, and that's it. I'm in the works of hopefully getting a decal sponsor. I'm going to be talking to him later on this week. Maybe we can work out some kind of deal if it leads to that way. But if not, then no sponsors. Just I got help. Obviously, the car was painted by Jimmy McDuffie, so I consider it a sponsor. Dustin Watkins, he helped me with a deck and then some body panels with Robert Williams. He helped me out as well.
Dustin's been doing a lot of
sometimes
cars,
help with
man.
sponsors no matter what.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I had Roger. He helped me with obviously the last race last year at Lakeview. I got a little into the wall and had a little bit of damage on it.
You had to pull the front end out, didn't you?
Yeah, and obviously I had to take it up there and have them do a little framework to it and pulling the metal out and stuff like that.
Wasted cages.
Oh yeah, wasted cages. The cage
held real good.
Up, but the suspension didn't. So. Obviously, like he said, wasted cages. If he's not a sponsor, but he's a true. Obviously, I'm a representative.
That's a dedicated builder too.
Oh yeah, he dedicates his work. If anyone ever wants to see it, just come and look at my car. I've yet to have a complaint about it.
No, you got a beautiful cage in that car.
So
hopefully I'll be
like
seeing
you were
him.
saying, if someone's looking into getting into racing, prices vary, but
He
that's
does a
one
lot
thing
of
you
front
don't
wheel
go
drives.
cheap on. Safety is the one thing you don't.
Yeah, no
obviously,
doubt.
There's a lot of guys out there that I wish I could stress it enough. Don't go cheap on
At all.
safety. I mean, there's a lot of guys that just would rather just jump out there, so they're taking pre-built cages that was meant for something else and cutting it, and what they're not realizing, if they're not doing it right when they're putting it in the car,
There was a
they're
rollover at Lakeview.
flexing and stuff, and if the cage is not made right, it's not going to hold right.
And our life is more important than racing.
Definitely number one, the safety issue. Well, buddy, thanks so much. Now, how can folks get in contact with you if they're wanting to get you've obviously been in the winner's circle twice this year already so far, so this would be a car that if you wanted to put your name on it to get seen, it'd be one to definitely get on. How could they get in contact with you?
You can check out my Facebook page. My personal page is Richard Allen Seals, or if you like to check out my racing page, it's Seals Racing.
Cool.
You just hashtag K-Power, hashtag V6 Eater, and you'll find me.
Cool, man. The V6 Eater.
The V6 Eater.
Well, in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again so much for coming out. Richard Seals at Dirty South Roofing, number 73 U-Car, and they're going to see you this weekend down at Fayetteville, correct? Is that where you're headed? All right, man. So, AJ, it's coming on about that time, man. After we come back, we're going to go to the mail time.
Your favorite time.
Thank you,
mail
brother.
Time.
All right, thank you.
It's your job to put it in the winner's circle, but it's ours to make your ride stand out above the rest. With full-color wraps or die-cut designs, Bellinger Signs and Graphics is sure to put you in the eyes of the fans. That's not all. We do custom yard signs, storefront, and your everyday decal. Come see us today at Bellinger Signs and Graphics, 3392 Dunn Road, Eastover, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Marley Bemfield, and I'm here with Jackson Bemfield, driver of number 13, Tremaine Racing Team, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Have those racetrack hot dogs ever made a second appearance? Have you scampering around like the last lap dash of the Daytona 500? Well, worry no more. With A1 portable toilets on your backside, you will have the best seat in the house. A1 portable toilets are a premier choice for all types of portable toilet needs. construction sites, racetracks, events, big and small, A1 can handle them all. Contact them today at 910-484-5219 or A1portablebullets@AOL.com.
Man, I love it whenever the mail truck pulls up. I love it. Mail time, ladies and gentlemen, basically what mail time is you mail us your product, and we open it right here on the show, promote it, and even we've been talking to a lot of different tracks around the area. Send us a flyer. Send us, and we'll open it on the show. Be more than happy to. As man, we've got all kinds of stuff from Amsoil, Jegs,
beer nuts.
Last week, man, beer nuts, and we devoured a bunch of them. But we still got some good beer nuts.
The chocolate covered peanuts.
Oh yeah.
Make it. When y'all left,
please send more chocolate covered.
Yeah, beer nuts. If you're listening, send us some more stuff. Great stuff. But tonight we've actually got a package that come from Military Luggage Company, and the package said mail time for Mr. North Carolina Nightmare. Has anybody seen the North Carolina Nightmare?
Oh, yeah. We seen him. Where'd he go?
Come here, son. Sup?
Sup?
So, mail time tonight, and how about this character right here? North Carolina Nightmare, man, just getting his swag shirts and all in, doing big things in racing.
Big T-shirts going out.
Proud of you. This weekend, we're taking him down to Rockfish and actually set him in one of them junior sprints. So, who knows what's going to hold for 2019? Maybe we'll be cruising.
Get him inside a cage.
Is that cool? You reckon you can handle that?
Oh, yeah, he got it.
All right, man, so here's the deal. I'm going to let Mr. AJ help you because Dad don't have a knife. And as long as you don't slide that through my femur bone, we'll be all right. So, big thanks to Military Luggage Company coming on board with the North Carolina Nightmare this year. There's a cool sticker for you, AJ.
Awesome.
All right. So what we got, dude? Christmas. So, basically.
Oh, got some stuff to hold racing stuff with.
Yeah, it's from Military Luggage Company. MilitaryLuggage.com has actually sent. This is actually a helmet bag that you can put your helmet in. It's lined on the inside, and you can actually put your shields and tear-offs and everything else in. So you guys getting into racing, and let me tell you, I don't know if you've ever been racing with an 8-year-old, but there's a glove over there and a helmet over here and a racing shoe over. Oh my gracious!
I'm telling you.
It's time to go racing, so I run to Mom and Dad's and grab his helmet. I run to Mom's Tahoe and I get his shoes out of it and his suits at my house. Not anymore, thanks to Military Luggage Company.
All in one bag.
Yeah, and you can actually, there's enough room in this thing, man.
You can stuff Wyatt in it.
This is called the Commander Duffel Bag.
I'll take that, you take that.
You're going to beat me up. This is pretty nice, though, man. Check this out.
There's a lot of pockets on that thing, man.
The little carabiner. We can actually put the baby in
that
there.
would actually, yeah, there you go. That would actually be a good little tool bag, man, too. Like if you're going to the go-kart race or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
He's talking about Nerf bag.
Nerf bag.
Nerf
guns.
But
I seen them all over the driveway.
Here, let's talk about this. The Commander bag actually has got different pockets that you can put in. So even though it says Military Luggage Company and militaryluggage.com, they're actually working themselves out and reaching into the racing world. Go on there, and this cat's already got his own promo code. If you go and order something from militaryluggage.com, you can promo code NC23 and get a free gift.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure it's, being military, it's military grade. So it's probably very sturdy.
And plenty of room here. And what Mr. Foster was actually telling me is this bag, it's so you can put your racing shoes in the bag.
Oh, okay.
And that way it doesn't
They don't
get all
smell
the
the
dirt.
rest of the bag up.
Well, yeah, probably. Young kid's stinky foot. But that way it doesn't get all in your other
The dirt
supplies.
and all that stuff.
I know you like clean shoes, AJ.
Yeah, you know
This
me.
is
You don't
perfect
you
for
don't get
man.
dirty.
Yeah.
AJ's kind of a
For
white
somebody
shoe
who
guy.
dirt
Yeah,
races,
I
though,
like-
you sure don't like to be dirty.
I like white shoes.
Yeah.
I'm down with the white.
I can
racing shoes.
promise you, if he puts it in the winner circle, they're going to have to put an extra lens on the camera, a dim one, because he's going to be blinging.
Big word.
And that's
If
just the way it works.
if he makes it to the winner circle.
It's coming.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
We definitely want to thank MilitaryLuggageCompany.com for or Military Luggage and for coming in as our Mail Time sponsor, we thank you. Anybody that wants to become a Mail Time sponsor, all you got to do is mail it in to 3392 Dunn Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28312, and we'd love to open your box. I think next show, we've actually got Brown's Motorsports as a Mail Time, so definitely looking forward to cracking open the Brown's Motorsports box and see what they got going on in there.
I think you just like opening boxes.
I do. I love it. I love boxes like I love cake.
Oh, man.
It's my favorite.
We're trying to stop that. We got to get you getting smaller, Mr. 3X. Come on.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, it's the time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to crack into our late model lowdown, see what's going on with Hollywood.
Yep. Let me go ahead and switch over here. Run two things. Let's see. Where's my other logo at?
Your wife said you need to buy one, so go ahead and hit. You've been approved.
Okay.
MilitaryLuggage.com.
I hear you.
So in World of
wifey.
Outlaws, Smoky Mountain Speedway was very smoky as Chris Smoky Madden took home the win on the 27th, and then Dale McDowell picked it up on the 28th. They're going to be heading next to Livonia Speedway on May the 3rd, which is actually be tomorrow night. They're going to be. They got 3 races back to back. They'll be leaving Livonia and heading to Cherokee Speedway in Gaffney,
Right.
For $10,000 to win, and then on to Sonoya Raceway. I can never say that right, for the Billy Clanton Classic, $10,000 to win, and then the World of Outlaws. After that, after we get all through all that, next week they'll be heading on down to Boone City, Fayetteville Motor Speedway, the 11th and the 12th, for the First in Flight 100 in remembrance of Big C Carlton Lamb, for $25,001 to win. So go ahead.
That's
I think
a
they
big
got
event.
reserved seating and all that already up that you can
2-day
go
passes you can
yeah,
get.
2-day passes, and I think all the drivers, if I'm not mistaken, that go this weekend
Go ahead.
or something, I think they get a $10.
Just look 'em
off
up
or
on their
something. It's on
Facebook.
their Facebook page. Yeah, all that information.
That's the most money they've been putting up since I was like born.
Well, they'll probably
Yeah.
do that for the 50th year anniversary.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, they got that.
That's
and
gonna
then
bring
they,
some
you know,
show.
they'll have 25,000 to win, and the cash money 100 at the end of the year.
Willie
So,
Milliken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of it. In Lucas Oil action, down at the Bush 50, 12,000 to win. The local hot shoe, well, he's local to us now. He's driving for Dunn Benson Motorsports. Bobby Pierce picked up 2 wins, the 27, 28.
He has been hot.
Yeah,
On
so he
fire.
picked that one up. And also, the next night, picked up one, St. Louis, the You Pick Apart 100. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, that was at Macon, 12,000 wins. So $24,000 in 2 nights. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Some good money. You get
Yeah.
both of them.
And it was also great that he picked up 2 right here after Mr. Lamb's passing. I saw they got a picture of them in
That's
the
pure
winner
dedication
circle,
to racing.
pointing up and all that. So now on the 4th they'll be headed to Tazewell, which is one of my favorite tracks. I've never been there. It's definitely on my bucket list. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. For the Toyota Knoxville 50, 12,000 win, and then on the 5th they'll be headed to Florence Speedway for the 32nd annual Ralph Latham Memorial, and that's Lucas Oil action. Jumping over to Carolina Clash, they had a race that was in conjunction with the Ultimate Series, the Jack Starrett Memorial. Tyler Millwood took that home. Ross Bell's finishing second. They'll be headed to Carolina Speedway next for 4,000 to win on the 18th. In the I-95 Late Model Challenge, Dustin Mitchell picked up the win. And also want to give a shout-out. Willie Milliken picks up a win at Lakeview and then at Clary's as well this past weekend.
back-to-back.
So,
Back-to-back action.
the Fuel Series, check them out. May 5th, they'll be at Friendship. And also one note that I saw earlier today, the Dirt Cup Challenge at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, the big open wheel modified race this weekend, has been postponed. So they'll still have their Diet Mountain Dew modifieds going on, but the Dirt Cup Challenge is postponed for this weekend.
Awesome. What's up in NASCAR, man, other than drug abuse?
Yeah. So this week, Joey Logano won the Cup race, but here's the way to turn your week upside down. So Spencer Gallagher starts Saturday, and he wins the Xfinity race. It comes out today that he failed a drug test and is suspended indefinitely.
Man.
Talk about
So went from 0 to 0 in like
real quick.
less than an afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And but I think he's come out and admitted that he was wrong, and
He's he's gonna be on the road to recovery thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything about who's taking.
And
his
his
spot.
win, they let him keep the win, but it was still encumbered.
Yeah,
I believe
he's not gonna get a
playoff berth.
yeah.
Man.
So that was Talladega. Did you see the wreck with McMurray in practice?
Yeah, I did. He went for a ride. And that's why, isn't that why they ended up putting on smaller restrictor plates? Yeah.
Another restrictor plate change. Try to slow them down a little.
This week they've got the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup at Dover. And that's about it. There's not much. 2 weeks until Matt Kenseth comes back.
I'm ready for that.
So we'll just have to see how he does.
Speaking of NASCAR, man, May the 26th, I think it's May the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, Chase Elliott's going to be down in Charlotte. And we're working on seeing about the nightmare going down. It's going to be the Hooters International Swimsuit Competition. And checking on about going down there, taking the go-kart. Because you know what? We're proud Hooters-sponsored people, too.
That's right,
you know, Nightmare's racing for Hooters this year. And, you know,
it's
so
good out there, too.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to going to the
How's that new body
International
coming?
bathing suit competition with Chase Elliott, and hopefully Wyatt will be down there. I'm sure we'll be signing autographs.
Oh, you're going to love that.
Yeah, I'll be in the back. So what's going down, man? Got some drag racing, some
we got
sprint
drag
news.
racing. We got
Magic
sprint.
Man wasn't able to make it tonight.
Yeah, Magic Man, we miss you. Come back.
Not for him, but for Andrew, for his son.
Well, we got a local with some sprint rockfish winners. First win, junior sprints 9D, the Hope Mills Hammer. Grayson Dyerson. The 270 sprints, number 32, Andy Cordeno. The 600 sprint, number 23, was that Matt Jones? Congratulations to y'all on your win out there at Rockfish. That's a wonderful show to be put on. You ever get a chance to look at it?
I had a blast. We got there at 4, was in the truck by 9.
Oh, yeah, that's
gone.
A beautiful place to go watch racing. Some more sprints. We got the World of Outlaws May 4th. They're going to be returning to the Ozark Speedway after 11 years absence. They hadn't been there since 2007. So they're happy about getting them back at that place. And then the very next day, May 5th, Outlaws are going to be at a Twisted Showdown in the Salina High Banks down in Salina, Oklahoma. And then also between May 11th and 12th, the home of the World 100, Eldora, that famous speedway.
Have you made it down there yet? I know you've been talking about wanting to go.
Eldora?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I would love to go.
That's
but
a go-to track.
Something we go to Darlington every year. We go to World Finals every year. So it's kind of hard to tell my wife, like, hey, I'm going to be leaving. I went to Talladega, Darlington last year, and World Finals. And not to mention all the other races, local races like Fayetteville and all that. So
we need to get out.
Kind of tough.
We got some also drag racing going on. Tuesday, it's already started through Saturday. They got the Spring Fling at Galat and Benson. Thursday through Saturday, the PDRA in Maryland. Of course, Freaky Friday coming back to Fayetteville Motorsports Park will be here.
Apple Chill, baby.
Apple Chill.
TT, what's up? Are you Apple
$1,000
Chill
to win.
If Apple bottom
Has she been rocking that big booty competition? Is she
$1,000?
Has she been practicing?
Come on,
We
now.
need you. We need you to
Don't
send
need
us
no
a
practice.
video,
She gonna
Robbie.
get that one.
The big old booty contest going down at Apple
Yep,
Chill.
yep. We got
May the 12th, I think.
Saturday, there's the Gear Jammer down there at Fairmont. Thursday, the 252, the list race number 2 in Kinston Drag Strip. Also Sunday, Memphis Street Takeover. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Drehorn. Congratulations on that win. Foot brake. Good job.
Down
Got that
17.
710 down there. Yep, and then the pro, Kenneth Morgan won. And then, what was it? George Thomas won the... Who won that one there? Dennis Thomas. The last race. George Thomas. Runner-up, okay. He come in second place after Kenneth Morgan. Congratulations to all you guys. And that's all we got for drag racing.
Awesome. I'm going to take my gum out because I usually get to the part of spitting when I start getting excited about what I'm doing here in karting, man. A lot of cool stuff coming up in karting. Like I say, the Young Guns report, the Hope Mills Hammer, Grayson Dyerson picking up his first win down there at Rockfish. And Grayson usually runs Junior 1, but he actually come in and is running that Junior Sprint Series now. And, I mean, Bo, I'm going to tell you what, he
Hope
did
Mills
a good
Hammer.
job. And I don't think I've ever seen Donovan Jackson more excited. He wasn't even that excited when
Did you
he won
see
the
that?
Model Light at Fayetteville.
They had a big old picture out there from last weekend.
Yeah,
all
when-
them boys out there all up along the fence.
I mean,
it was
so
an
good
awesome
to see.
picture on
and
Facebook.
That's a great series thing that they got.
Family
going
of
on.
racing right there, 100.
The actual series was down there at Southern Cartway this past weekend, and I want to send out a shout out to the series, man. The Turn 1 Carolina Cup, the next gen was won by Wyatt Saunders. Junior 1 Elite by Brandon Donaldson. Landon Huffman picked up Junior 2. Junior 2 Elite was Chase Williamson. Connor Leffler got Junior 3. Junior 3 Elite, Jackson Silvers. Stock Primero was Cole Johnson's. Pro Stock was Jamie Knopf. Super Heavy and Super Heavy Elite was won by John Yancey. Amateur Preliminary, Blake Vaughn. Animal Preliminary, Alex White. Pro Animal, Shay Chavis. Super Champ, Mr. Cole Johnson. You always see that Johnson crew, Bo, up there. Them boy, Fireball he's a tough cookie. And always good to see him on the thing. Turn 2 for the Carolina Cup will be at Fast Tracks Cartway May the 19th, so you want to check that out. And they're actually doing the Wild West Tour May the 12th at Lusky Speedway in Warrensburg, Missouri. So taking a little trip there with that series. And also talking about, man, in the karting coming up this weekend, Max Daddy. Going to be one heck of a show down there at May the 5th at Triple T. 7:30, the gates open. Practice starts at 10 a.m. Racing will be at 5. $5,000 to win. Pro Clone Heavy. And Hermie Sadler's going to be there. Yep. And Hermie Sadler made the announcement that he'll be there with a pen in hand and a check to write for $10,000 if somebody who wins the Max Daddy is on a premier cart.
Anybody got one I can write?
That's a $15,000 payday, one race. So, in a go-kart. So, I'm going to tell you. And that
makes you want to switch up.
That should just tell you the action that's fixing to happen down at Triple T this weekend. Make sure you go on down there.
Big shout out to
Triple
T.
Hopefully, Raging Rooster will have their cooker fixed.
Yeah, he had a regulator go out, and then
bad day today.
Luck.
On the way back to fix
the tire blew out on the trailer.
Yeah, so tough luck going out to those guys, but definitely going down to Triple T. Terry hosts a great show. This week will actually be hosted by the Maxxis Tire Company, Goldspeed, Miss Patty, and those guys always doing big stuff in racing. And coming up, this is my daddy. I'm so excited. May the 12th. It's time for the $300 guaranteed in the Big Bone Clone, baby. The Big Bone Clone, $375. They've also got a ladies division and the Super Big Bone $425. Gate prices $8. $8 to get in the gate to come watch this racing, and the entry fee $10 to $35. I mean, you can't beat that. It's going to be a wet track series. It's the backyard series, so it's going to be a wet track, a little slip and sliding, but it's going to be a good time. Mm-hmm. And JYD, Bo, he's been building it like piece by piece.
I heard I saw him at the store the other day. He was telling me. If anybody's got any fine thread bolts, let me know. I'm looking some.
Yeah. Also, want to send a shout out. Caroline Ackerman. They're doing a Caroline Ackerman benefit race from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock down in Salemburg, North Carolina. It's 1345 Peyton Daniels Road. They've got only 2 classes. It's box stock and renegade, or run what you brung. And all the money is going to be going to help out Caroline Ackerman. So it's just a good old Saturday or Sunday afternoon of racing. Come on down, even if you ain't racing. Go on down and check out 1345 Peyton Daniels Road. Pay you $5 donation to get in, and like I say, all the proceeds are going to help out this little girl. So good Sunday. He said they're going to have pork chops and hot dogs on the grill.
So that means you got a cart, you got to bring it out.
All kinds of stuff like that. So that's definitely something that you're wanting to
have to dig one out the shop.
Check into. He said, please, no alcohol. That it is definitely a family event, so they don't want to have any alcohol down there. And his son, Josh Daniels, is an open wheel modified driver. So some of you guys might know Josh Daniels or friends with him on the Facebook. You can get the information from them. Stepping over into the mud racing side of things. Now, it's not mud racing, but you can definitely get muddy down at Deep Creek ATV Park, May 4th through the 6th, the Cinco de Mayo Bash. Man, they have got Diggerfoot coming. The 5th is going to be playing, and they have been working. I'm talking about hard.
Brian's put a lot of work in that place, man.
He told me to make sure to let everybody know that if you have not already signed the waiver, you can go online and get the waiver signed. That way the line won't be so long. They have primitive camping, and the first 100 that come through the gate are going to get signed up to win a Warren ATV winch. So that's definitely something, you want to try to make your way down. But, go on and check out the rules. They've got, you got to be wearing a helmet, no pets, things like that. Stuff you definitely want to follow. But I'm telling you,
it's a big park.
It's a
man.
big.
They're gonna have some bands out there. The Fifth's gonna be playing.
Yeah, you can go under the road.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
this is out there in Linden.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Slocum Road.
Slocum Road.
Yeah.
We were doing the map for the park today, getting it printed up because he's going to be giving out maps when you go in, so you can
know where you're
find
going,
the
what you're doing.
trails. And we've done tons of signs of. They got one called what's it called? Baker's Moneymaker. And I can only assume that's for Baker Motorcycle. You can make it through there. You might make Baker some money, but he's really put a lot of work into that, man. And so go out and support him. Even if you're not going to go out and ride, go watch the Fifth. And
it's going to be a good time.
And they're talking about a lot of awesome concerts and stuff coming up this year. So their bathhouse is one of a kind. I mean, their facility is top notch.
That's for the women.
And
they've got a Facebook page. Make sure you go and like it if you have.
Yeah, they do regular updates showing all the stuff that they're doing to the racetrack.
And, man, you guys are doing an awesome job. So, listen, when you ride around and you see the signage, don't forget to come to Bellinger Signs and Graphics right here, 3392 Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Got to throw that out there, man, because you did awesome work on those signs.
Jim did those, man. Jim is, I mean, of course, everybody knows he's awesome anyway at designing. But, Jim has made it look really good.
So good stuff.
If I'm not correct, I believe that's where me and my dad are selling funnel cakes Saturday. So,
right,
awesome. Go get you a funnel cake
from Racing Ryan.
Racing Ryan.
Racing Ryan will sign your forehead or your boob or whatever.
You got to get autographed.
Just saying. Hey, also May the 5th, Jump and Run Creek, the 4x4 mud bog racing. The gates open at 3, racing at 11 down in Hubert, North Carolina. Frontier Country 4-H mud bog May the 5th. Reno Raceway down in Reno, Ohio. The Mountain Mania Motorsports, Valley, Washington, May 4th through the 6th. $1,000 mega truck and $500 small tire drags. And the NMRA is going to be down there May the 5th, Tex at 9 o'clock and racing at 11. And if you have not seen them NMRA trucks, man,
they're moving.
They are
they ain't in the mud.
A lot of horsepower. A lot of horsepower.
Like a boat.
VWIF Spring Mud Bog down at Mineral Wells, West Virginia, May the 12th. And coming up May 19th, there's going to be a Fast Tracks Clash of the Carolinas. Some of the fastest mud racing trucks in the country. Talking about Lack Insanity, Scooby-Doo, Snoot, The Root Snoot, Jason Schmidt. All them boys is going to be down there. And you want to see a show, definitely show up May 19th. Fast Tracks Clash of the Carolinas is going to be something to see, as we are definitely looking forward to, doing some stuff with those guys. They're a sponsor with us this year, a table sponsor, and, we want to get out and do some promotion for those guys as well. But that's what I've got in the mud racing and go-karting world of things. AJ, you want to open the phone line?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get the phone lines open, ladies and gentlemen. I actually had it, and I don't know what to do with it.
The
what
number
is
910-321-8299. That's 910-321-8299.
And check this out. We got Pete Core's signature back
Look
here
at
on
that.
the line, man. So give us a call. We don't care. Did somebody spin you out? Are you pissed? Did something happen in racing? Do you want to promote your racing program? Do you want to talk about a race you got going on this weekend?
Here it comes.
321-8299 is definitely the phone to give us a call. And, while we're waiting on a phone call to come in, I want to talk about May the 12th. The captain's meeting's going on for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Fishing to Fight Cancer. They're going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff for Swamp Boys. Mm-hmm. And, Fishing to Fight Cancer, they've sent a lot of money to St. Jude's Children's Hospital and seen some pretty big catfish. As the captain's dinner is going to be down at the Shriners Club in Hope Mills.
Always a great time.
Yes, it is. Very good. And, one thing about that is you think catfishing, but when you really come to the captain's meeting, you're getting fed by the barbecue hut. There's entertainment. There's chances to win. There's prizes.
There's going to be any chicken bog there?
I don't know. We hope so. Hopefully, Mr. Core brings some. And then they fish on the 19th and 20th. Mm-hmm. So they fish overnight. Proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They do pay $4,000 to win. So look at there. Little something. Hello, Shine Runners Racing Radio. Who we got on the line?
Thomas Brown.
Thomas Brown, what's
Little
happening, man?
Hollywood.
How's your mama doing?
She's doing good.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Glad to hear. What we got? What, somebody spin you out?
Somebody piss you
Nah. I didn't go racing this weekend. I went to Charlotte.
Oh, you was down there before.
Famous
right?
TT.
You got down there with TT?
Mm-hmm.
Now tell us honestly.
Went with TT and Robbie.
How much was she practicing for that apple chill?
1,000 to win.
That's a different type of tire prep right there.
She was, I don't know. Ooh, every day. Apparently, she was practicing us every day.
Every day.
What you got, buddy?
Nothing. I was calling to tell y'all that Mr. Drawhorn didn't red light.
I know, he
Sunday.
actually picked
We
him
went
up a
to
win.
7-10.
Oh, TT says yes, he did.
Just in the new car, right? Not the old car.
But he didn't red line down at 17.
But he redeemed himself because
Yeah.
he won at 7-10. So it's
Yep.
all good.
He redeemed himself, so.
So are you coming
Can't pick
back
on him.
to racing this weekend, or can we expect you down at Rockfish?
If my car's not ready, we'll be down there to watch.
Right. We'll
Most
definitely come
definitely.
on down there, having a little birthday down there for Blade and Core. And we'd love to see you.
All righty.
All right, homie. Take care.
All right, man.
All righty. See y'all later.
And while you're picking up that call, AJ just called in. Want to send a shout out to Blade and Core. Had his first ride in the Mod Light last week and did a good job. He brought the
Finished
car back
sixth,
in
right?
one piece. Finished ninth out of 14th,
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, he was really willing that
Yes,
machine.
For a first time in a car, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, but you should see them boys down there at Mr. Coors, and we've got some cars down there at Mr. Coors that we play around on.
Right.
Hey, they'll take that Metro, Bo, and I'm telling you what, I got that big body Buick, son, the big booty Judy.
I've seen that.
And I'll be backing off to go in the turn, and then when I back off, here comes that Metro, tacking out at least 77,000 grand. And hey. They won't even hit the brakes, Bo. They laid over a 13-inch rim. They're putting it in there so hard.
Well, we lost.
But
let's see who we got coming back in. Ella.
Robert.
What's up?
Hey, buddy, this is Chris. I talked to you today on the phone.
Hey, Mr. Chris, how you doing? We were just actually talking about the race you got coming up this Sunday down there in Salemburg, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
So
I'm sorry my voice is a little crackly, but I'm having problems with my voice.
Yes, sir.
We'd love to get as many people out to this event as we can. It's going to be some good race and good friendships.
And that's what
there'll
it's
be
all
no
about.
alcohol, and it'll be from 1 to 6.
Okay.
We'll have 2 big races, and it'll be like a 50-50 race. The guys that race understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we're asking for $5 donations. This is going for a very, very sick little girl, which I'm fighting my own battle right now, but I'm trying to help her out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you for that.
if anybody needs to get up with me, they can get up with me on Facebook, or I'll give you my phone number. They can PM me.
Yes, sir. And
I'd rather PM me because it's hard for me to talk.
I'm definitely going to start promoting it pretty hard. Even promoting it tonight on the show. And as soon as I can get home, I'm going to build a poster, and we're going to promote it as hard as we possibly can. Hopefully get a lot of people down there, to help out that little girl. And that's pretty awesome of you, man, and really shows your character. You're going through a battle of your own and trying to help somebody else out, and that's strong. That speaks a lot of meaning and the type person you are. And I can promise you Nightmare Motorsports will be there.
Well, I would appreciate anybody that comes. I mean, we're just out here to have fun, not no fighting or nothing like that. We just want to have fun. This is for the youngins mainly.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the adults can ride, but this is to get the youngins in the racing.
Right.
And my number is 910-214-5598.
Okay.
And so PM me with any questions, I'll answer anything. But like I told you this afternoon, we're going to have a stock class, which is the Predator motor right out the box. I mean, with the muffler and all. That'll be the box stock class. And then we'll have one class that'll be run what you brung. I don't care if it's got a 350 Chevrolet motor on it.
350 Chevrolet. I got a 2-cycle.
That sounds like something Robbie'd bring.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do this.
I'm definitely going to be coming, and we'll have a little something to put out there and ride. I'll see maybe I can get my 8-year-old son out there to maybe drive around them older guys.
Pump up some old rusty tires and bring some stuff out there.
But definitely, man, thank you so much for calling in, and we're going to be pushing that, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chris Stowe. You can check him out on Facebook. Like they said, Sunday, the race coming down, asking a $5 donation to come in, and it's all going for Caroline Ackerman, an 8-week-old little girl who's having some heart problems. Racing World, let's get together and go down there and support these folks.
There was one more thing I was going to say, and I forgot it. But just everybody come out, let's have a good time. And I will, this is what I forgot. I had the grill going with pork chops and hot dogs as long as they last.
I was going to say, you had me at pork chop, brother.
Awesome.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, man. And definitely, like I say, we're going to be posting some more stuff, more information for you listening viewers out there this afternoon. And we'll definitely get it out there and do what we can do.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
There's some good charity events going on.
The phone line is hard.
Hello, Shine Runners Racing Radio.
What's going on, Rooster?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Hey, doing good. This is Brian with Triple T, man.
Brian with the Black Widow. Man, you all looking at a good show down there. I'm talking about that $5,000 to win Pro Clone Heavy.
I need a Premier car because I want to come down there for that $15,000.
God!
Hey, that's going to be the best seller this week is a Premier chassis, I promise you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. So tell us a little bit about what y'all got going on.
Terry's been working on the track this week. Everything's getting prepped and pretty and pampered and all that good stuff, man. I'm excited I ain't sleeping 2 nights. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But it's unheard of to put up not only $5,000 like you guys mentioned a while ago, and I appreciate you throwing us out there to win that race, but for the Sadler guys to be there to hopefully give somebody a check for a bonus if they can do it in a Premier chassis of $10,000. That's unheard of in the karting series.
Yep, good stuff, man. I know it's going to be a great race, and they said gates are opening, 7:30?
7:30. Practice starts at 10 o'clock, and we're going to roll through. Like I say, Maxis is going to come in and take care of everything. The best of the best will be at Triple T this weekend trying to beat that Black Widow and kiss the bricks and pick up that bonus check if they can do it in a Premier, basically.
And listeners out there, if you've never been to a go-kart race, this is definitely something that you want to go check out. And like a lot of people say, that Black Widow coming out of turn 4, she either love you or hate you.
That's exactly right. If you ain't got a neck strap on, you're going to be sore the next day, I promise you. 'Cause it's always side by side, 3 and 4 wide.
I had to buy a neck strap just to watch the race.
I did too, from standing in the flag stand, from going all the way around making laps with everybody, you know?
Yeah. But a lot of good racing down there at Triple T, man. You guys got the candy drop coming up this weekend?
Yes, we do. Let me see. Yeah, we got that coming up. We're still looking for somebody to kind of step up and sing our national anthem for us if anybody's willing to stretch their vocal cords and entertain us a little bit. If anybody wants to do that, they can get a hold of me.
Right, so Triple T's looking for that national anthem. And, man, talking a little bit about Triple T, what's this coming up May the 12th with the Big Bone Clone? I love it.
So we're bringing back old school. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I can't wait to see some of that stuff going on, especially with the ladies going to be racing this time too. It's about a 6 or 7 race series we're going to run out through the entire summer. It's going to be awesome. Terry comes up with these great ideas, and we try to add to it to bring in some family fun, to bring something different, go old school, to give everybody a chance to, on a very limited budget, have a good time.
Now, did y'all name that Big Bone after me? Is that like a rib or what?
I don't know. You might want to ask Terry about that.
I'm trying to lose weight, man.
There's a good possibility, though, cuz.
Well, I'll tell you one that's been building up his cart, Bo, piece by piece, and a huge thanks to Terry and everybody who's lended a hand to help him out. The Genuine Junkyard Dog said he is ready
the JYD
for the Fat Guy Challenge that will be coming up here shortly. I still got to find something to ride. I still don't have a go-kart. I've been talking a lot of trash.
What? No. Well, you can get you probably one of them red flyer wagons and put a motor on it, can't you?
Oh, hey, I thought about. Well, I'm gonna be racing my dad, and I'm gonna be racing Bobby Jackson, so I could probably go get a hover round or one of them Walmart carts. They'll be out of breath by 2 laps. I'll pass.
A rascal.
I don't know if I worry about Bobby Jackson, to be honest with you.
Well, brother, we appreciate you calling in tonight. Definitely, all you folks that are listening, if you want to go see some good racing, go check it out. Triple T Raceway, 1321 Sid's Mill Road, Raceway Pathway, 1110 Shaw Mill Road, 1113. Y'all got about 400 addresses for that place.
We do. It's just so big. We got to have almost a different area code if you're not careful.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Brian. We greatly appreciate you guys down at Triple T Raceway.
Thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Looking forward to that. I got to go down there and pick up our motor. We burned our motor up last time. We got in that wreck. And hey, my dad come down. We started breaking out
Duct tape
and hammers and all kinds of stuff. Got to beat back. That motor had just had enough, Bo.
Yeah, you probably jumped some timing when it
couldn't make it. But anyway, have we got anybody else calling in?
No.
No, ain't nobody else calling in, man. It's almost that time then.
We got a couple events
Deep
coming
Creek,
up.
yeah, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, we got a couple other events coming up.
Oh, excuse me. Deep Creek Outfitters, not to be confused with Deep Creek ATV Park, is actually going to be having a Saturday, 7 a.m. until they got vendors down there, jewelry, dog trainers, mobile laser tag, all kinds of stuff going on. Swamp Boys is going to be down there selling tickets. Got a 14-foot John boat on a trailer, motor, everything, dollar tickets. We want to try to sell them out. So that's at Deep Creek Outfitters, the old Riverside Bait and Tackle. So go check them out as well. And, man, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else.
We got a few things.
Go for it.
Jersey Mike's, the 18th, Friday.
That's right.
We're gonna
Jersey
come out,
Mike's.
Bring the kids. There's going to be a couple of games out there for the kids. Let them stand in front of some race cars and see some of the local racers around there. It's going to be a good event. And then the very next morning, there's that the cookout for the autism. That'll be at the Harley Davidson.
And that's May 19th at Harley Davidson.
The 19th. We'll be set up out there as well. I'm promoting it. If anybody wants to look at any of that information, you can look it up on IR Racing. Or my Facebook, Kyle Jenks. There's plenty of information on there if you guys want to get out to some of these events and come support all of our sponsors and the people that help us race.
Cool, man. Awesome. So looking forward to some great racing coming up this weekend. Don't forget, go down to the racetrack of your choice and make sure you support these local guys who are working hard to put racing out there for you.
We ain't racing.
That's right. On behalf of Hollywood himself, Racing Ryan, Mr. Jinx, and the famous Apple Chill dancer, TT. Let's roll them on out, brother.
Later.